Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Teutonic the Human, and welcome back to our Kalmar Union campaign. You join us with our push towards Riga, finally gathering a bit of momentum. Just captured Window, and of course we also have Abo up here. So we're just going to start to gather our forces together. They've still got a lot of units here, and it doesn't look like the Lithuanian and Novgorod pushes in that direction have borne any fruit just yet. So that's ideal for me. Obviously we want that to get ourselves into the Hanseatic League, or to take over the headquarters, because that will be 3 of the major cities. We've also got Danzig and Visby at the moment. Now we finally have Helmstedt actually growing into a large town at this point, which is very much overdue. We obviously have Edmund the Honourable over here in Skara. I think we're going to move him over to Visby, because he'll have a very good effect, I think, on how things work over there. He can finally stop putting on a low tax rate, because that's probably given him some negative traits by now. He spent too long doing that. Over in Hasselholm, we're just going to get ourselves a few more units. We do need to start sending some troops off to the east. So I'm just going to grab all of those and start to ship them over. Probably over to Window, actually. That'll be the ideal position. And over in Kalmar, yeah, we're starting to get ourselves some assassins out on the field. Partly because there are some merchants floating around that I could do with getting rid of. But also just to kind of, you know, take advantage of the map a little bit. If there are some people I need to get out of my way, I think that would be a good way of dealing with it. Bit of mischief is always worthwhile. Yes, of course, we have Cecil over here. Is on our way. She's on her way down here, it was. This guy seems average enough, but we're running out of options, so she's a good chance to go grab him. She's going to have a go. Maybe we'll find someone else in the meantime. So we'll see about that. I can't help but notice in the on the immediate, though, that there's a few troops hanging out outside of Marienburg. I don't think they quite get the idea this is now ours. So we're going to go smash into them. In fact, I think we'll do this the fun way, shall we? Let's take a few units, not all of them. We'll shoot them down with some ripods as much as we can. Albeit they did the catapults, that could cause us some problems, but we'll see about that. If we can take these ones out with the cav, we'll shoot these down with the rocket launchers. I think the missiles are coming in now. Yes, indeed they are. Mr. Priest, you should probably get out of there, because we're trying to shoot down these Halbluder with some lovely early age rockets. This will be fun. Let's see if we can do this. The best place to use these, by the way, is on a bridge. In the streets can be funny, but on a bridge in particular. You just put these on the bridge to, ooh, direct rocket into the general. Oh, magnificent. These guys are going to get shot down by the archers. Yeah, it's not gone well for them. They've given up. I don't really blame them. Your shield should probably be on your back at this point, though, chappies. Yeah, not doing so hot anymore. Yeah, these are fantastic on a bridge if you put them right across. They make massive damage. We'll see if we can just get this last shot here. We might not quite be in range anymore. No, looks like we've missed it. We'll release those chaps. They can run on home. Captain Jan and his 5 men can recount the tale of the rocket launcher killing the general. Marvellous. Feels appreciated, our king. Well, that's lovely, but your loyalty means nothing. Cruel and cunning. I did just release them, but I suppose I hunted down some very outnumbered troops and shot them with rocket launchers. Okay, that is fairly cruel. It's not cunning, though. It is just funny. And on to this army here. There's one peasant. Just send him home. One peasant archer alongside some, yeah, just a variety of all sorts of units, really. Surprisingly, he doesn't want to do it. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? I think, though, we will... wow, okay, we killed the archer just by turning up. That's interesting. Alright, well, we will take those chaps, and we'll just bring a load of archers. We'll bring a little bit of cav as well. Why not? Bit more mopping up of some of these things to do. It's just the principle of the matter, really. I'm afraid no rocket launchers this time, but the catapult can do some work. Let's go. In they come then, and the flaming boulders should be coming in pretty soon. The archer fire, hopefully, I think they should just about be in range. I'm not quite sure why they're not. They seem awfully close to not be. Just get our feudal knights out on the flank. Just need to be careful there's nothing really in their way. They're quite fiddly on this, of course. Scouts are just running way out to the... Ooh, very close. Really far out to the rear at this point. They're not enjoying the arrow fire. Not at all. Arrows might not be that effective anymore in this particular era, particularly if you're not English, but yeah, this isn't looking good for them, is it? No, it is not. So flaming shots, come on, let's get one good catapult shot in. Feudal Knights take on the Halbruder, and at the front here, the dismounted Halbruder aren't doing so well. Flaming shots are terrible on this occasion, it turns out. Just shoot the Order Spearmen. And I think all the missiles probably need to just focus on them at this stage. That didn't last very long, did it? Okay. Well, we've got the cav to go and chase them down. Maybe you got one last chance, please. Here we go. Your aim seems a bit wonky, if I'm honest. Come on. Woohoo! Oh. That could have been fun, but it didn't work. Oh, look, there's one horseman. There's one horseman there, which is just causing a bit of nonsense. Fine, fine, fine. One more shot from the onagers. Come on. I know the scout's about to catch them. Well, that wasn't as bad. But I'll be honest, lads, you're probably sacked after today's showing. Right, all missiles, wander off. No longer shoot by yourself. Same with you. Don't kill any of our lads. Yes, let's release these two. Okay, so with them released, he has gained 3 loyalty. Okay. Yes, well, you when you decide to hide in the trees, I told you to go and pick on some random Teutonic chaps. Right. I don't really know what I want you to do, Mr. Spy, but I'm quite irritated at the length of time it's taken for each of my end of turns. So I think you can wander over here. We'll have a look at what the Poles are doing. But quite honestly, I'll happily go get a peace treaty with them. Polish princess.
And I will not seem so ladylike.
You're not a ladylike. You're clearly not a very charming lady. Go have a little chat with Cecil. She'll show you what charm is, even if she does have an annoying yappy dog. Okay, on the whole, we're looking fairly good at the moment. We're getting a load of gun hulks into the seas, so we're looking pretty strong and confident in this area. I will send some of my ships to start clogging up. Yeah, so Riga isn't going to be doing an awful lot for them. They won't get their boats very far from here. Got the dragon boats separated. And yeah, now we've got these straits kind of taken up. Obviously they can cross there, but it's more the general point, isn't it? So these boats over here probably need to go and get themselves rejigged. And I suspect I need to start thinking about where I'm moving these forces. To of course have my castle over here where I'm training some troops. Start sending them across to the next town, because we want to march them over to our port at Uppsala. New turn and a new time to blockade Riga. We're going to do it properly this time. Got the gunboat here, and then we've got a couple more over in this area. I don't think they're getting any reinforcements here. Any ships, if they are left in the seas, are now going to be very isolated. Indeed, anything that they get out of the port will be too. Riga is pretty well defended. Yes, battle will resolve our differences. Let's have a little see if we can spy on him. The answer is no. But apparently he managed to get a little bit of information back before he died. They have a proper manga now. How marvellous. Yeah, nothing too brilliant, but it's still a fair amount of numbers. And in the capital, or yeah, well, it probably is, because that is only that and Thorn they've got left here. Not the most elite force of all time, but certainly another full stack to worry about. So they're looking fairly strong in that area. We'll have to, yeah, we can take our time with it as long as no one else is going to take this city before us. That's really the main thing here. Unfortunately, Palanga then most likely isn't going to fall, but if we leave our allies with one, then I guess we can settle for that. Of course, Cecil is moving over towards Honda, which is what I always call this town. And go have a chat with the princess. She's terrible at diplomacy and not charming at all, so we'll have a chat with her, see if we can get a ceasefire in the short term, and if not, then we'll just go and kill them. It's fine. So, Teutonic Order over in Thorn are gathering a few forces, But there are the Imperials floating around. They have actually captured the city of Plock to the south. It's Plock, isn't it? Yes, good old Plock. Best named city going. And yeah, so they've indeed got both Poznan and Plock now. So they'll be looking to push up. I want it myself, but if they get it, it's not the end of the world. And if they throw their faces against a rock a few times and get themselves bloodied, that works for me. They can distract each other. Because I have more pressing matters, I'm getting a few bombard cannons out over here. And I think, though, it's time to go back into my infantry and start bolstering that up. We have some more units swinging over to Window, of course. There are some more Teutonic. Okay, dismounted French archers. A load of Frankish men. Well, if that isn't an invitation for me to drown them, I don't know what is. Okay, engage you. I will indeed. They get shot all the way up there. I don't have a boat in that area, do I? Oh, no, there's one here. Can we win this battle? I hope so. Damn. Did we just drown? No, we didn't. We're fine. I think you can go a little bit further. You can engage. So longboats can engage this time. We lost again. Rubbish. Rubbish. Right, send out the gun hulks. We're going to hunt this army down. A load of pilgrims. So are these on crusade? I don't know. Magnificent. French religious fanatics, not French religious fanatics. Interesting. They're down to 9 now with this cog. We should be able to sink them, but we'll see if we indeed can catch up with them next time. Ridiculous. Okay, there was one boat left, but that'll be the end of them there on their little French escapade. Fine. So we've got a little bit of money to spend right now. And I think mainly it just needs to be spent on getting a couple more units to back us up in the homeland. One turn away from growing, and on the whole these towns are just getting on with some basic infrastructure still. It's amazing, every town that I've taken of Teutonic Order, they haven't even had land clearance. So whilst they've probably gone the opposite way to me, and I've got all like the siege works, they don't even have the land clearance. Ridiculous. We've got the council chambers. Public health bonuses are very welcome. Saves you lots of future problems. And with these forces, yeah, we're going to have more than a full stack at Window, which is a start. Anyway. We also have the forces at Abo. Not a huge amount, but some anyway. We obviously will get these units from Akashus. Then moving over to Tingala. And we'll use those to reinforce as well. So last few units from there. And alright, it looks like I'm probably going to want a general to escort them just to make sure nothing funny happens. I'm not sure what King Christopher's authorities are. Actually at 4 now. Not too bad. It's definitely improved. And on to 2 chivalry, so he's pretty much where he was with that. But as king, naturally, he tends to lose a little bit. Assassin can head over to the port. Get another boat at Kalmar since we just lost a couple. And yeah, you can pick up these agents en route. And I do have a merchant too. You can go and work on that honey. 73 for now. That's not a problem. Okay. So it seems like they've very much hit a stalemate here, because the endless wars I kept seeing the previous end turn seem to have ceased. And at this point, I think it's largely a matter of the Lithuanians trying to have a go. But yeah, it doesn't look like too much is happening in that particular area. As for this part of the world, over here with Governor, our 18-year-old little starlet, she needs to find herself a charming suitor. Now, if in the meantime they have a factionaire to marry, that could be good. Guten Tag, mein Freund. No, nothing really of interest right here. We obviously already have quite a few things. Let's just outside. It's not perfect, so we'll just give them a little bucket of money for the moment. Oh, that's a demand. No. We want to give you money, sir. Marvellous. That's just a bit of standard bribery there. Not going to help her, of course, because it's not very impressive diplomacy just to give people money, but it at least keeps the relationship as high as possible.
Ask the impossible of me.
Shush you. Back hunting down this ship, and this time I think we will sink it. Admiral Kurt and his massive force of Frenchies will drown where they stood. Yes! Marvellous. Bye-bye, Frenchies. We are victorious. That is all that really matters. And yes, they have besieged Danzig, which is a little bit irritating. Haven't really got an awful lot at the moment in terms of the defence there, but obviously I have quite a large force waiting to go and relieve them over here. So we'll go and grab some troops. In fact, to be honest, you might as well take pretty much all of these. We'll just leave a skeleton force behind. That will do. That'll do for now. We're a little bit out of money, actually. Could do with a bit of juicy murder. So, yep, let's just head in. He wants to do it. Captain Ferocious Federicus. Dismounted Halbruder. Ah, we've got the Rita Bruder. Oh, yes, the fearful chaps of the Teutonic Order. But I think in general we'll just shoot them down. It should be not too much of a problem. I will control these myself. That sounds grand to me. Let's go. We are mostly in position then with our reinforcements turning up. I'm just going to send my cav out to the flank straight away. They can all get running. That will help us out. Archers can get shooting in, but we are going to take some heavy knocks. Put the spear militia at the front just so they can take the heavy hits, and then we will be able to keep most of our better troops back for a little bit of time. Just going to get them all lined up on the flank. We'll just see what we can do here. So, some fairly elite units for us to be taken on, at least compared to some of the ones we've got. But I think our sheer numbers will largely do the job for us here. So, charge in, charge in, charge in. Yeah, we'll get them all pinned in nice and easily. Just swing out a couple of units to the flanks. Cav straight in to the rear of them. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if one of you can just pin them for the short term. But actually, no, it looks like their cav's going to come and get into us. Ooh, we've broken way too easily over there. Come on, spear militia. Rubbish. Alright, and these units can come and join the melee over there. Perfect. General, just pile into that area. Keep them all busy. Most of them are completely routed instantly, apart from this one side. These Halbruder need to be cut down. Yeah, we're just getting around the flanks of them at this point. Spear militia, get back in there. Yeah, see, they have no general, and it shows. It very much shows. Missiles, if you can, honestly, just run off in that direction. Keep yourselves busy. Now, light cav, where my lightest cav? Can you catch up with? Yeah, get the Halbruder, and otherwise, these guys can go and chase them. General can do likewise, and this can just be for my infantry to chase these down. If you miss one, it's not the end of the world. Although I don't think there'll be too much problem. Ah, that's the merchant militias, isn't it? Yeah, we can leave them to get on with their job. Chase them down. Oh, a nice little battle for us there to clear out some units. Just need to make sure I don't get caught out, because of course there is siege equipment around. Most people have cannons and trebuchets and the likes. Wow, these troops are worth so much. Let's ransom them. Ransom rejected. Alas, they have no money to give us. I could done with the money, so that works for me for now. Promising commander for King Christopher. Can't complain about that. He's up to 6 now, so he's not doing too badly. Yep, alright then. Back to the main city with you then, sir. And we will just get ourselves merged where we need to. Lovely chap. Now, Danzig. We do need to be a little bit careful with you going forward. Because you have got a bit of damage done to your troops. And yeah, siege equipment can't make it there immediately. But we do need to just think about how we're going to restock those troops. Otherwise, we do need to come and have a chat with Lithuania to get... we're going to chat to Poland first. Chat to this silly princess. Ceasefire. Apparently it's very generous. They're poor. We can get some money out of them for this, so let's try 2,000 to start with. How does that leave us? Very generous still. I thought it might be. And maybe we'll go for 1,200, 1300, why not for 6 turns? How is that looking now? A bit more balanced.
I have no qualms
She
with
accepted
this
it very,
battle.
very,
I
very
accept.
easily there. Works for me.
Farewell, then, my lord.
So hostilities cease. We have hostilities. We have a ceasefire with Poland. +2 charm. So
What
that'll
do
be
you
her up to
require of
5
me?
as well, like her younger sister. Despite the bruised confidence, she is doing well for herself. So if you can plod on
I am
along
sure I will
to this
have
chap,
your
he's up to
full
51
attention.
now.
I will
51%
not be
chance to go and
refused.
grab him. We're going to try
Not
that.
somewhere a lady
While she is
should
very
go.
good, unfortunately, we can't seem to
Will
find
I
any
be
good
able
lads
to
around, so we'll
proposition?
grab him just because it's
Is
something.
he
But we'll get some
worth
military access as well. We probably can do that with someone else, albeit probably better to use
An
her
honour,
to
my
do
lord.
so.
I
So,
am sure
Princess,
I will
no,
have their
another
full
general.
attention.
That's irritating. I need to get
Will
some
I be
information
a
off
part
the
of a proposition?
Imperials. So
Pleasure is mine.
let us try and trade those. Very demanding. We've obviously sold it to them way too many times. Don't worry about that, sir. Can I have my money back from when we've bribed you before? I'd like to use him.
How may I say? As you
Yeah, I'd like to make use of him, please. It would very much help me, because then I can buy your map information. Right, Marienburg, send your siege equipment. Actually, do I want to do that?
My lord.
So I might want to use it on Thorn. Yes, is the answer. I want to send it
My
north,
lord. Move out.
and we can make better use of it in that area. You head over to Danzig, and we can now retrain. So that's what I'm gonna do.
My lord.
Perfect. We'll retrain you next turn when we can. We do have cannons over there, of course. I did go out of my way to get that sorted out. So you can also get yourself a cannon next turn. You can send that over to Marienburg. Marvellous. So we'll be back up to 2 of those. We'll get some swordsmen in. But actually, they're just a bit plain and blah, aren't they? What is the point of them? They are cheaper. But honestly, not cheaper enough to make it that worth it. So we'll continue as we are with that. Otherwise, we are looking pretty solid, aren't we?
An honor to
Might
serve.
just grab you, sir.
Yes.
And good old Burger can just put down a watchtower. It doesn't actually improve our vision right this second because we've already got boats around this area, but it's good just to have a proper permanent post there.
My lord.
And, oh yes, of course, we have our reinforcement forces over for Wind Out.
Yes.
They won't actually fit in the town, but that is not an immediate issue. Do we have ourselves a church? There's a chapel over here. Yeah, we can't get an abbey to retrain them. So I might
Orders, my
get that
king.
in Visby. So I'm going to send those back over to
Orders, my
Visby.
king.
And we'll get those chaps ready for their next bout. Lovely. So, things looking good. The seas seem to be well under our control at this stage. And I think it's just a matter of ending our turn and seeing what happens from here. Merchants Guild in Kalmar. Yes, I've been looking forward to that one for a while. And Blockade Port Riga. 3 units of Norse War Clerics. Oh, they love giving me the Norse War Clerics, don't they? Do they have an upgrade to armour? Full plate. So that's a little bit of time coming, isn't it? Right, probably should have done that before, but we'll get these onto Visby.
Orders, my king.
Lovely, and you can deliver
My lord.
those other clerics back over here where they can retrain. Perfect. We don't have any more of that unit available. It's not a problem for me right now. Get on the boats and head over in that direction. Get the gunships with you, and that will look grand for us. Now, Visby, you actually had one yourself, didn't you? You had a spy. We'll just get them all together. So let's get the gang together onto there and just get this agent onto that boat. Marvellous stuff. And over to Window. That's going to work. Yeah, that will come together in a few turns' time as we gather our forces up in the north. Now, Danzig. Hopefully, you shouldn't be under too much threat anymore. I think the Imperials are really coming on strong in this region. Let's go get our princess to have a chat. Could do with some map information. I don't mind if we need to pay for it over a few turns. So we'll give you 800 for 5 turns. How does that sound? That sounds generous. Okay, that's fine. Good to know how much they value it. 700 for 4 turns. And I want... Oh, that was my... I'm really good at diplomacy. I'm asking all the wrong things. No, I'm offering the tribute. you need to give me map information. Let's try that.
Yeah,
Reasonable.
Thank you for your time.
Indeed, trait increase. She's up to 6 now. Ooh, yes. She's 19, 6 out of 10 charm. Well done, milady, well done. If only we can find you a good man to marry. It's just a bit frustrating, really. On which note, we should probably take a little look at our family tree. And of course, Berger is our factionaire, which is a little bit frustrating in some ways. Because, well, Christopher Westermann, or Westmann, I keep on saying not Westermann, he's doing alright, but he's, you know, nothing too special. I feel like it'd be nice to go down the other end of the tree, because I think Christopher's probably the least interesting of his children in some way. Because, yes, obviously his daughter over here has married Edmund the Honourable, who's a magnificent man. And you've got Cecil and Governor, who are both incredibly charming young ladies. So, if only in fairness, if only our lovely friend Edmund over here, if only he actually had married one of the 2 younger girls, he'd have some amazing traits, because he would have gained so much more. Right, well, let's leave those 2 units behind. And you are going to go over to Uppsala. I think you make a lot of money, actually, if you head yourself over there. Could do magnificent stuff. Actually, we're going to leave it on normal for now. You can turn up the tax rate. Maybe learn how to make a bit of money. Thank you very much. Now, our money on that note is struggling a little bit. I've been making some heavy forward investments in terms of the army. But yes, you can see, look at all of that. We're going to need our allies' help to take Riga. It's going to be a bit of a push otherwise, I think. But I think we can head down to Thorny. That one's certainly looking ready. And in time, maybe we can go and take on the Poles. But yeah, there isn't a particularly good border, because that's just one of those tiny, tiny little villages. Obviously just a town at the moment, so not looking too good. Maybe Thorny... this is Plox Imperial. Maybe swing all the way down to Jazdo over there. No idea how I'm supposed to pronounce that. And yeah, maybe that will be a better border for us. It will stick out slightly, but it could be a good choice. Though it does bring us into contact with the Mongols. Not ideal. We'll see what options come up for us. Abo will for now get some of this sword staff militia, because they're quite useful. It's helped to have a few spears in our armies. We're very much lacking in those. And yes, I think if we start getting our boats retrained, then you'll be able to use those in a few turns' time. Start heading down south. This boat has obviously fled, so we'll get the gun hulk up in that direction for now. Let's stop blocking that bridge. I don't want to get in the way of my Novgorodian friends. And our merchant over here is finally getting a little bit better. He has a knowledge of customs, probably because he's been in foreign lands indeed. So that's one of the things we need to remember when we are using our agents. So our lovely princess,
Your Majesty.
got a governor's over there right now.
Will I be a part of a proposition?
I don't know, my lady. I don't think anyone's really good enough for you. Although, where is Cecil? Cecil is over here. Now, Lithuania, what do you have to offer? Let's try and get some map information for map information and a tiny bit of money whilst we're at it. Maybe like 600. Is that going to work? Accepted. Fine. So she isn't gaining things quite like her sister.
Yes.
They're not being as good with that. Fine. You head over
I
here.
shall ride on tomorrow,
This
my
guy
lord.
is not particularly spectacular,
I be a
but
part of a
he might have to be the one we go and nab.
Is he
We get
worthy,
some
father?
military access first, so that we don't annoy them when we're walking back for our
Just a
lands.
signature.
But at least we've got the map information around the map now. It's a little bit more satisfying. We can obviously see that they've got Plock down here, but the Mongols have southern Poland, apparently. Oh yes, that's the one we were just looking at, wasn't it? So yeah, the Imperials, we really don't want them to get any more. Thorny is definitely something we want to be taking, not them. But if the army's over that side of the bridge, we could plug ourselves. Ah, I see, we've got to get there first. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. That's a slightly awkward place in a Thorny from our point of view anyway. Fine, we will spend another turn just getting our troops reorganised. We're lacking... crossbowmen. That's what we're lacking. We need to leave a couple of units behind, so we'll get some crossbowmen into this army, but a little bit of dismounted feudal knights will never go amiss, because they're proper heavy on the defence they'll keep on fighting for a long time. So I wouldn't mind having those in my force. Good old Christopher. If you can just come over here. Oh, we don't have enough money to... We don't have enough money at the moment to do what I want. You know what? You really don't matter. Put down your watchtower. Apparently I'm not allowed a watchtower for some unbeknown reason. Can't figure out why it's being weird about it right now, but we'll just head back in the city. The game's going to be fiddly about it. So up in Konigsberg we have ourselves our forces. Pretty well gathered together at this point. So what do we have? What do we have? A few axemen. We're a bit short on infantry in this area, aren't we? Yes, indeed we are. We've got a fair few of our Norse archers though, so we'll send those on. And cavalry likewise join in. That'll do for me. Turn the tax rate down, and to be honest, I'll get rid of the bombard over here because that's not that urgent. But what I could do with is a couple militia units to keep that happy. The Mongols and the Teutonic Order are now allies, and the Mongols and Poland have a truce. I think this has happened several times, and then the Mongols just declare war on Poland once again. It seems to just be their standard everyday tactic. So, Cecil. Talk to this random lad on the way. And what we'd like is military access for both sides. Happily accepted. Okay, well they did that very, very positively considering the game's so balanced. But that's giving us extra charm. Oh yes, up to 6. Now, whilst it does seem like a slight waste to come and grab this guy in some ways, because he's not exactly spectacular, he's at least solid, and we are not finding any other options for her. And she is getting on a little bit. She is 26 now, and in the medieval scheme of things, that is incredibly old, really. This chap, well, he's 50. No, I feel like I looked at him before, but he's too old. I think this is the only single chap going, to be honest, who isn't actually out of his 20s. So we'll take him next turn, and we'll take him next. I could have phrased that a little bit better, couldn't I? Right, send the princess.
With pleasure.
There we go. So she is 19, 6 charm. We have two princesses with 6 charm. This is a great thing. Unfortunately, there's no one good on this map at all.
My lord.
That is a bit of a shame. Oh yes, we can have a little look at the family tree, weren't we? Because things were a little bit one-sided. Obviously, we're just heading down this side. Christopher of Westermann is not too interesting, but there are 2 other boys there who are actually his blood sons. Are you actually any better than this heir? You're pretty similar, actually, aren't you? But obviously, you're the one that I adopted just to do the odd battle here or there. King Eric, of course, passed away peacefully. Emma the Honourable, you have 2 daughters. Oh, one that's 15. I don't know actually exactly how the princesses work on this. I imagine these are too far separated from this line, which is the line it seems to be going down. So I assume we're not going to get this offered up as princess, but I might be mistaken there. I've never paid too much of a close attention to the way that it works. But there are 2 sons as well, which is magnificent. In time we'll have those. Ingrid has done well for herself in this marriage. It's a lovely thing. But I'm really looking forward to having some super good traits. This man actually, he will improve a good amount from having her, because she, with 6 out of 10, intelligent and attractive, he should get some really good traits. So I'm looking forward to that. Now.
Yes.
We have ourselves an army over here. Let's just start gathering it together. We want to get our Norse axemen first and foremost. Front line of the Norse axemen and a few of the Sami axemen in behind. We then have a couple of the feudal knights just to be super solid and hold position. And otherwise we have ourselves a few units of Huskarls who are largely there to just do the dirty work. Kind of understates their use as a unit. They're actually quite good, but oh well. So a few crossbowmen, a few Norse archers, and a cannon. Right, we're getting there. We are getting there. We're not quite ready to head into the battle here, but it is coming together. So what have we got? We've got a fair amount. We need to have a bit of a scout of the army over here. As ever, there's the Livonian crossbowmen and very, very little on the... Well, I say that. There's just no general around. Very bizarre. But I do have allies.
Speak to mein Kaiser's
Well, we're going to need lots of infantry to be able to crack down the walls, of course. So we'll get the bombard, naturally. And I wouldn't mind a trebuchet just to add... Or is that going to do it? No, we'll get the crossbows because they are actually quite useful just in terms of getting on the wall in the citadels. What are we here? We're just a fortress, so nothing too huge, but can't take it too lightly either. So that'll be 3 more units to fill us up. Okay, that's good. That is good. We are just lacking any cav here, although it will be a siege, so that doesn't matter too much. I wouldn't mind just sending these cav into the army. There we go. Some Norse war clerics to come along. Got to be careful though, because we are starting to leave these. Leave these areas a little bit weak. Okay, you can head back into the town, but perhaps once we've just sent these back, we'll leave the crossbowmen. They can go there, where I think... No, I don't have crossbowmen over there. Okay, that's fine. We will then restock this in time. Don't get a trebuchet, get a catapult. You can defend with a catapult. Right, get back in the town for now. That will do. Get rid of that. Yeah, that'll do for now, but we'll just need to make sure we do something to help them out in the longer term because it's just looking a little bit weak. Although, of course, we do have more troops coming in this direction. Possibly should just send some down to Königsberg. But to be frank, these are just going to head up through the Lithuanian lands anyway. It doesn't need to be a complete army. Should probably bear that in mind. Okay, we've got boats either side of Isby, which is always helpful. Retrain those clerics as well. And Kalmar, I think, is just done with a little bit of road works. So, or not road works, building works. We'll get the roads sorted out. And Emmond is heading this way. Let's get the boat to come and pick them up. Jump on the boat, ladies and gentlemen. Emmond will just let you plod off, finish your journey. And where are they going actually? They're coming down here. Anchors of air. They haven't actually retrained yet. That was going to be this turn. You know, we'll go via Abo because we need to pick up a few units. How much have we got here? Just a half stack. So we will probably grab the militia units and maybe 1 or 2 others. Don't take them all because I could always see myself at war with Novgorod in time. Right now our relations are very good, but once we take care of our allies, our enemies even, we'll obviously need to figure out the new state of the world because once we take Riga and once we take Thorn, the Imperials will be dead. Poland aren't looking too hot either. They've only got these few places left at this point. Just these 3, I think. So it won't be long until our 4-way alliance against Poland and the Teutonic Order comes to its natural end. At that point, well, why are we allies? For peace in the world, I guess. But we've got victory conditions to meet, damn it. Only a 14 out of 35. So a bit more work's going to have to be done yet. But on that note, I do of course have a force over here at Window, and I do have a fortress to train up some troops. So I'm just going to retrain for the moment what I've already got, and just kind of figure out what I've got and what I need to bolster. Plenty of Norse archers. We have 8 units of Norse archers there, and in terms of cavalry with 1 scout and 3 clerics. Honestly, cav is not a big part of the warfare right now. Not really out on the open field very much. It's much more castle warfare. So if you join together, that is just over a stack. With a fairly strong force gathering outside Marienburg and Thorn, we should probably start heading in. Now I'm going to do, let's go grab our lovely princess. Just continue to move along. Ooh, okay. That's not, well, it's at least someone. It's someone. He doesn't seem particularly great. We need to find out a bit more about him. We'll get ourselves a spy and we'll go find out a little bit more. I don't have a brothel around here. Why are there no brothels? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's almost as if the Teutonic Order are running it or something. I don't know. Okay. Go over here. We can't actually besiege it. I wasn't actually trying to. I was going to try and pull in the force over there. But we obviously can shoot down some of those walls with the cannons. But obviously, being a citadel or a fortress, we don't really want to be that to be our only way to do so.
I am sure I will have their full
Okay.
attention.
Right, well, either way, she isn't going to get married right this moment. But I think,
Your
Cecil,
Majesty.
you are 27. It proves confidence, but I think she'll be one happy lady when she gets married
Will I
today
be a part
to
of a proposition?
Troniota of Volstoksk. I apologise, I really can't pronounce. There we are! Cecile has got married of Volkovisk. There we go. Cecile will finally get married. What a beautiful day. She had a good journey, this lady. She had young promise. A younger sister actually pushed her to become a more charming lady. And between them, they are the most charming ladies of the realm. And she gets married here today to solidify our Lithuanian alliance. Look at her, resplendent in her dress. Magnificent stuff. Oh, yes. A classic pagan went in there for the Lithuanian chap. Now. He has wife is fair. Increase the chance of having children. Wife is useful, 5% trade bonus income, and wife is admirable, +1 popularity, improves public order. That is the advantage of getting yourself a good princess and marrying into someone. It's a shame we can find someone better, but he's at least fairly solid, and he's young. He still has time to move on. And actually, we didn't know a lot about him, which is a little bit of a risk. But budding bureaucrat, that's good to see. His royal ties means his loyalty will have increased. See, drinking, that's unfortunate, but good with taxes. Doesn't appreciate it. We can make use of that in time. A bit lazy, that's unfortunate. Speaks of loyalty, noble in battle, drill master. Okay, so he's not the best warrior, but he looks like a fairly good administrator. And particularly if he's got a useful wife. So we need to get you, sir, back safely. This is a good thing we've got a ceasefire with Poland. Back safely to a useful town. Maybe Visby would be a nice place for you. I think she's had enough of wandering around.
Yes.
And our dear princess would like
With
to
honor.
settle down in a lovely trading town.
With
You know, she can
honor.
buy some of the great goods of the city. You go a little tour of your husband's country, Cecile. You enjoy it. It'll be a lovely time. But I think it's time for you to head home. Oh, it's been a great journey for our Cecile, hasn't it? Head over then to Königsberg and we'll pick you up with some lovely gunships. Where are our gunships right now? They're around somewhere. Oh yes, our Hulk is over here for now.
Back ashore.
We must have some others around. There we go, there's some dragon boats.
My lord.
That's a gun Hulk. Let's go pick her up on that. That will impress her. So,
Where to?
we'll get on with our work. Merchants Guild, of course, yes, we have to go and do that. We will probably fail with that job, but you never know. So, boat swing over to there.
Yes, my lord.
And
Merging fleets.
I can't move any further. It's really awkward at the top of the map here. So we want to grab some semi-axemen, or do we actually? What can we get here? Get the swords off militia and crossbowmen. So they will be able to defend themselves if that is indeed what I want.
Where to?
Okay, that's not a problem. Right.
My king.
I'll tell you what, we'll grab the semi-axemen
Orders, my king. Yes,
and the infantry
my
here.
lord. Forward.
Now, a few swords off militia. I want to keep one of them in the town anyway. But I wouldn't mind having a bit of spirit. In fact, no, let's just take all of them. Let's just take all three for the time being.
March.
And we'll take some of the Norse war clerics. I want to keep some units here in case we get attacked at a later stage. But for now, we're doing alright. So head down south. And you can convene with Windale, which needs a bit more infantry anyway. And now we're going to be gathering a huge double army in that area of the world. Ooh, things are coming together. Big fights between Novgorod and the Teutonic Order again. It does look like the Teutonic Order have started to get the upper hand in some of this. Ooh, okay. Big bout outside Thorn. I wanted to go smash down all of these walls with cannon, but it looks like... Oh, the Imperials are coming. Looks like we have to take them on prior to their arrival. Sadly, I wanted to get to either the bridge or to draw in, but they have arrived and we're going to have to do this here. Separated forces, though. They are a bit broken up. So I reckon we can do this. And outside of the city, they're a lot more vulnerable. Hopefully our cannons can do some fun work on these chaps, but we'll see about that. We have ourselves plenty of missile units and some strong infantry, very low on cav. So we've got to be very careful about the Halbruder, who could cause some big problems, and make sure we, yes, prioritise how we focus on them. Luckily, they don't have a lot of them themselves. Right, this could be a big bout. It says 1-1. I'm confident we can win. If they're all in one particular force, it'd be incredibly close. Anyway, let's head in. Let's take them out. Here we are then, ready to battle, and we've got ourselves our axemen at the front here, ready to make that proper charge. A few of the dismantled Huskels on the flanks just to cover up our archers. Crossbowmen at the front to start with, along with the bombards to see what, if anything, they can do. We've got ourselves a load of crossbowmen doing some damage. Oh yes, we've got the feudal knights back here as well. Some strong, powerful lads. Oof, good hit there on the cav. They know where to shoot. Yes, so first time we bring cannons to the fight. And yeah, it's not ideal, but we'll see what damage we can do. Unfortunately, there are some reinforcements on our flank and rear over there. There's only 3 units. We should be okay to largely focus on these men over here. A bit of a horrible day as ever. The computer only ever picks a horrible day. I'm a bit tempted to go and send my general to take these out, but I don't think that's going to be very sensible. We'll just turn around what forces we can at the right moment. There's another man burnt down there. Get the 2 cannons just to shoot at the Halbruder cav in the middle. See if we can do some hefty damage to them. Now the crossbowmen do need to withdraw at the right moment, but we'll see about when that comes. There we go. It looks like they're all carrying big buckets to throw over us. It's the weird 2D, 3D thing that's happening here. Not quite in range yet, but it can't be too far off. Actually, these aren't long-range units. Ooh, yes. One terrible shot, one brilliant shot. And the other major reinforcements are coming over there. There we go. See, these cannons are doing good work. Another hit. Just over their head of their general, actually. That was... Okay, crossbowmen aren't going to get many shots in. And neither... And the cannon's about to get hit. Let's try and sort this out. These Huskels can get over to this flank properly. I had some extra Huskels just standing in behind. That's you there. You just charge in yourselves. But I wouldn't mind to get 1 unit of these infantry just over on this side, just to protect against any charges over there. And then, oh no, you're the crossbowman. In trouble clicking on the right thing right now. Okay, we'll send in those infantry over there, and these 2 can also come into their cav. Right, we're going to take some heavy losses here. It's axemen versus mass amounts of axemen. Those guys get around the side as well. Norse war clerics. I'd like you to get around the flank as well. These guys haven't got as close as I thought they might. So I'm happy enough to get on with that. Both cannons. If you can... Ooh, who's going to get here first? These ones. Just turn over there. Turn over to there. So, clerics, can you go and take out those Halbruder? And the Huskels are going to get round the flank. You are going to get around here as well. Yeah, just get in behind them. You get in behind them. And you get in behind them. Hit those lads. You're going to take on those. You might well struggle with that. But that's not a problem for us. General, start running in. Good. They are completely falling apart. Everyone in on them. It's just the Huskels who are going to be struggling in against those Halbruder. But I think we can just get our cav to swing into them. Perfect. They are still a fair amount away. Cannons, if you can shoot, do. Actually, go off fire at will, but do shoot at those lads. All missiles, just go off shooting for now. That works for me. Now, in general, I think we need to get ourselves onto this hill here. I don't mind. Yeah, let's get the Norse archers back into the new position. Essentially about here, but we need to be a little bit careful right now. So, if we get the feudal knights to just stand on this flank, that will do for me. The axemen are all very, very battered at this stage. So, actually, no, axemen, you form that flank. Dismounted feudal knights, you form the new main flank, please, against the chaps coming in that direction. Also forms as a kind of anti-flank device against them. We'll have a bit of an arrowhead formation. We'll get the Huskarls in behind as the kind of backup men. And yeah, we can just leave the crossbowmen to do their work for the moment. Bombards can continue to do their work, shooting them while they have an opportunity. General, you need to just hit those chaps and then come back into battle. Yeah, just get yourself over here. We probably need to be taken out there. Yeah, they're clergymen and Halbruder. Alright, let's get the crossbowmen over here. Out of the way of the cannons, please. Right, everyone needs to be running as much as possible. These cannons are not going to get themselves caught out. I think they'll be alright. Just don't run in the way of the cannons when they shoot. Don't, General! No! I've definitely seen many a true nerd get his general shot by his own cannon before. Don't join it. That was with Denmark too, in fact. Okay. Unfortunately, the rejig over here means these crossbowmen are not going to actually get a chance. They're just going to have to pull back, unfortunately. But the cannons are at least going to be distracting them. Right, axemen, all of you just run into them. Just run in. I just want the battered units, the already damaged units, to do the work here as much as possible. They're about to melt. That suits us very nicely, and we have time to reorganise before the last force arrives. This is good. This is very good indeed. We've managed to get our timing just right in this battle. That's right, just get yourselves around the flanks. Okay, and dismounted feudal knights are still pretty much at full strength. Missiles, stop shooting, and just move so that you're not going to be tempted to kill our own chaps. Fine. Right, one more reorganisation, chaps. Into a new position then. It might look a bit messy. It's not as messy as it indeed looks. Essentially, we have our main line of feudal knights here, with just a bit of Huskarls as well, just on either side. I've then just got the crossbowmen on the flank here, just to get a slight angle before we then pull them back. That's where the scrappy troops are, just to kind of help the crossbowmen, and also just at the back with the general's bodyguard. It looks a bit more scrappy than it really is, but our cannons should be getting some good shots into, preferably actually the Ritterbluder right in the centre. That means that they should hit these cav if they overshoot. So some shots be lovely, because at the moment you're not getting your cannon fire in, and I'd very much like you to. This could be, yeah, it says evenly matched, and I'm willing to believe them on that. This is going to be a tight finish for us. Right, okay, time to get the charges. Time to get the charges in. You get them. And then from here, we're pretty much running out of units. So it's going to have to be all of my scrappy, mostly dead axemen coming into the order spearmen here. That doesn't really leave anyone to take on these units. But if we can keep them occupied, then our crossbowmen can just start to swing over to that flank. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right. Yeah, we just need to... Yeah, we need to just get in, and then hopefully they expose themselves to a bit of cannon fire. No, it's not going to work. Right, cannons, don't worry about it. That's fine. You just wander off at this point. Crossbowmen, can you just go off skirmish, please, and just start shooting in? Your whole point was you're supposed to get an angle on it, please. Now, Norse archers, you are good in battle if you need to do it, so we'll consider it. Now these clerics are coming in, going to distract the halberd. Good. If their cavalry can't get through the back of us, then we're in a strong position overall. Archers, yeah, crossbowmen are getting some good shots in. That's what we're looking for. General has broken them on that side. Yep, that flank has gone. That flank has gone, which means we can immediately get ourselves into there. A good wallop into their flanks might just be what we need to win the battle. Looks like it. We're just going to wrap up the line now. We're going proper Rome Total War style at this stage. Cannons, for some reason, are now back shooting again. Just shoot the Livonians if indeed you can. Swing, swinger, swinger, swing. Yep. And if these guys can just parade themselves on the flank, you can hopefully start to take them out as well. Good work, good work. Dismantle Huskars, get back in there. How are we doing over here? Unfortunately, they are being beaten, but they have done their job of distracting them for long enough. Come on, my clergymen. Come on, my good old clerics. Flaunt your stuff. Flaunt it. And do not budge from battle. Right, that is their infantry falling apart. That's almost everyone completely gone. And yeah, if you can just head in, that will help us a lot. Norse archers. Yeah, that's good. That is good. Cannons, please stop under all circumstances. General, go in and assist your clerics, please. Go and save them. They need your help. Everyone else to start chasing them down. This has been a heavy affair. Oh, there's only one left. There's only one left and he hasn't quite managed it. Right, General, finish off the last of them. Just these Halbruder to go. They're going to get sideswiped by the General's charge. And with that, they're going to flee. Well done, sirs. You sacrificed yourselves pretty heavily, and there goes their leader. Only no proper generals here today, which would have actually turned the tide. I don't think I could have done it if either that first or last force had actual generals. But as it goes, we've done it. The Thorny issue of this citadel should be a little bit simpler now. So, yeah, Thorn will fall to us, I'm pretty certain. It might mean that we have to do a tiny siege to finish it up. But our cannons did a good bit of peppering work at the start. They didn't get themselves killed amazingly, and we can now mob them up. Most glorious victory, indeed it was. Now 1,000 troops from us, and they had about 1,000 themselves, but we've pretty much done what we need to here. General threw himself in when necessary because we're very short on cav. Axemen completely destroyed. But as you might expect, the dismounted feudal knights held their ground, and hopefully with that, Thorn will fall to us. Near enough anyway. Now, unfortunately, chaps, you are outside the citadel, and I can't afford to give all of you back to the citadel. So, a good old King Christopher will slaughter the whole lot of you, and our Imperial friends can just mop up any of them that flee to the west. Marvellous. A few more skirmishes between Poland and Lithuania, but I think this is where we'll leave it for today, ladies and gentlemen, because it looks like we've made some good progress. It's mostly been preparations today. Must be moving our forces, getting some huge armies ready, but Thorn is pretty much there to go down now, and it looks like there's only a token force left. Cecil has got married, and a swordsmith guild in Marienburg. Marvellous. I was hoping that we would get that. Now I can also get myself a brand new unit. Where are the Gotland footmen? Oh yes, a proper massive bastard sword. That is what you want to see. Almost ludicrously large. I love it. 16, 13, 150 on the old upkeep. So a bit like the Sami Axemen, they are incredibly cheap to upkeep and not expensive to train either. Effective against armor, good morale, powerful charge. They're pretty solid, all things considered. So, not particularly good stamina. You might expect that though, because it's a hefty weapon. But they're fun. You can only get those with the Swordsmith Guild after you turn to the Kalmar Union. You can't get them as Denmark, only as the Kalmars. So, oh, this is surprising. I didn't call this a turn back at all, did I? Oh, ridiculous. Yes, it's been a productive day for us. We'll get ourselves a new Merchant's Wharf, and our economy should start to pick up again because we are getting our towns growing, and we are, of course, also just getting ourselves set in terms of these wars, because once we take a few more cities, things will start to balance out again. Window is ready to launch itself into war, and of course Cecil's husband is just making his way home at this point. He'll make it to Königsberg and join a couple of his new mates. Oh, this is lovely. We can start to divvy up the troops and send them into battle. It might not be Riga next time, but it will certainly be Per now, and I think we'll be putting ourselves into battle with a few of our friends. In the meantime, looks like we are going to have to take out these. This will be how we start off next time, ladies and gentlemen. But now I will leave you. I'm Thomas, the Human, and this has been our Kalmar Union campaign. Thank you, and good night. The most plunderful time of the year. No flag, no country. Simultaneous death roboting. That's what we all came to see. The golden age as we nuke the world. These guys will soon be blown out of the water. Did you see what I did there? I am not proud of myself.